On the news, Peter Obi emerges Labour Party presidential candidate as Pat Utomi orders step down. Ruling All Progressives Congress APC screens presidential aspirants ahead of party primary. And Okorocha pleads not guilty to alleged embezzlement of 2.9 billion naira as court remands the former governor in EFCC custody. It's good to have you join us on News Now. I am Mary Kanu. The former governor of Anambra State, Peter Obi, has emerged the presidential candidate of the Labour Party. His emergence follows his victory at the Labour Party's convention and presidential primary held in Asaba, Delta State on Monday. A total of 185 delegates had been accredited to vote in the exercise to elect one of four aspirants seeking to clinch the party's presidential ticket. However, all three co-contenders, Pat Utomi, Olubusola Emmanuel Teller and Faduri Joseph, stepped down for the former governor. Utomi announced that Obi is a younger aspirant with the capacity to effect the needed change in the Nigerian system. While still in politics, ahead of the All Progressives Congress APC primaries, the party has commenced screening of presidential aspirants seeking to fly the party's flag in the 2023 general elections. While John Oyegun, former national chairman of the party, is in charge of the screening exercise, the APC national chairman, Senator Abdullahi Adamu, the party's national secretary, Senator Iola Omisore, and other party leaders are already at the venue of the exercise. The screening exercise, which would be concluded within 2 days, is being held at the Transcorp Hilton in the Federal Capital Territory, FCT. The screening panel is expected to vet the credentials of 23 presidential hopefuls. And former Vice President Atiku Abubakar has won the People's Democratic Party's presidential ticket to represent the party at the 2023 presidential election. The forthcoming polls will be the 75-year-old's sixth attempt for the post of the country's top job. However, the former VP's victory has continued to generate mixed reactions from Nigerians. While some think Atiku's emergence is the best decision for the opposition party, others say the decision may not be the right step in the right direction. Our correspondent Emeka Amako compiled this report from Abuja. But we'll bring you that report during the course of the news bulletin. Well, moving on out of our stories, the Zenith Labour Party has absolved the Independent National Electoral Commission of any blame over the extension of a deadline set for conduct of party primaries. Speaking at a press briefing in Abuja, the national chairman of the party, Dan Nwanyawu, explained that the window of 4th to 9th of June, as requested by the political parties, was to enable them resolve internal concerns. He advised that the latest adjustment should not be seen as a partisan move, but as a move to ensure adequate preparation by all parties.
In course of studying the timetable again, we saw a window. In fact, I saw the window between the 4th of June, end of primaries, and 9th, 10th of June, when we are supposed to start uploading the candidates list into INEC portal. I called the chairman of IPAC. Did you see this? He said, Chairman. I said, yes. INEC cannot say no on this. God, INEC, the party would like to see you. Chairman said, for what again? He said, no, it's very urgent. We must see you today. He said, is it soldier work? He said, it is like. But I have no letter. You will get the letter now. The letter was drafted immediately, sent to him for meeting that said they are 3:30. At 3:30, we met INEC. So that meeting of 27th, Friday last week, was at the instance of IPAC solely, without more. Those who are on the street throwing banters, throwing arrows on INEC has nothing to do with this. So this window of 6 days we now have has nothing to do with favoring any political party.
In also legal matters, Justice Inyang Ekwo of the Federal High Court in Abuja has remanded the former governor of Imo State, Rochas Okorocha, in the custody of the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC. He also adjourned the case until Tuesday for a hearing of the bail application filed by Okorocha, who currently represents the Imo West Senatorial District in the National Assembly. The former governor is being tried on a 17-count charge to the tune of 2.9 billion naira filed against him by the anti-graft agency. He has, however, pleaded not guilty. Meanwhile, speaking to newsmen at the end of the hearing, Oke Amechi, counsel to Okorocha, explained that the EFCC did not serve a notice of arrest warrant before arresting the former governor.
Since the charge was filed in January, whether they will say deliberately or not, they didn't serve him. So they just waited until 24th, which was the screening day of APC, and stormed his house and seized him and took him into custody without court order of arrest warrant. And they have been keeping him. So we have applied for bail because he's entitled to bail. If he's served and he didn't appear, the court will issue a warrant for his arrest, but he was not served. And they did not even take advantage of the provision of the Administration of Criminal Justice Act, which says if you can't find the defendant, you file a motion for substance service, the court will give you leave, go and put it at his house. They didn't do that. We don't want to suspect their motive for what they did, particularly choosing the day of the screening. So, but when we come tomorrow, I don't want to go deep into it because the issues are before the court now.
Well, in a related matter, the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC, has again uncovered another 90 billion naira alleged fraud involving the suspended Accountant General of the Federation, Ahmed Idris. Idris, who was seeking bail last night, had reportedly opened up on some top government officials allegedly involved in some transactions. There were indications that the AGF had made a commitment to the EFCC to refund some cash to the coffers of the government. It was also learned that Idris was arrested after he shunned 80 invitations by the EFCC. In commemoration of the International Day of United Nations Peacekeepers, the Secretary General of the UN, Antonio Guterres, has urged governments and societies to join forces to resolve differences through dialogue and build a culture of non-violence to protect the most vulnerable. Guterres explained that the commemoration also offers a chance to honor about 4,200 peacekeepers who lost their lives serving under the UN, including 135 who lost their lives last year. According to him, peacekeeping has helped save countless lives and brought peace and stability to many countries over the decades.
Today, we honor the more than 1 million women and men who have served as United Nations peacekeepers since 1948. We pay tribute to the nearly 4,200 heroes and heroines who sacrificed their lives in the cause of peace. And we are reminded of an age-old truth: peace can never be taken for granted. Peace is the prize. We are deeply grateful to the 87,000 civilian, police and military personnel now serving under the UN flag who are helping to realize the prize of peace worldwide. They face enormous challenges. Rising violence against peacekeepers has made their work even more dangerous. Restrictions due to the pandemic have made it more difficult. But United Nations peacekeepers continue to serve with distinction as partners for peace. This year we focus on the power of partnerships. We know that peace is won when governments and societies join forces to resolve differences through dialogue, build a culture of non-violence and protect the most vulnerable. Today and every day, we salute their dedication in helping societies turn away from conflict towards a more peaceful and prosperous future for all. We are forever in their debt.
Well, we'll bring you the report where we told you that the former Vice President Atiku Abubakar has won the PDP's presidential ticket to represent the party at the 2023 presidential election. The forthcoming polls will be the 75-year-old's sixth attempt for the post of the country's top job. While our correspondent Emeka Amako compiled this report from Abuja.
After what may be considered as an election of negotiations and compromise, Nigeria's former Vice President Atiku Abubakar emerged as the winner of the People's Democratic Party presidential primary polls over the weekend. Atiku won the ticket with about 371 votes to beat Rivers State Governor Nyesom Wike, who had 237 votes, while former Kwara State Governor Bukola Saraki came third with 70 votes. While Atiku's victory may not come as a surprise, given his political track record, some Nigerians think it's simply unfair for a northerner to emerge president after President Muhammadu Buhari, who himself is a northerner.
I'm not expecting him. The power should not go to the north again. The power should not go to the north. Being the presidential candidate of the PDP doesn't make him a winner of the election. One thing you have to know. And they play money politics. Nigeria has been playing money politics, which is not helping matters. Let people vote for people of their choice.
I'm surprised, but not really surprised, because I know politics is full of possibilities. But actually, as a person, I'm not happy. Why I'm not happy is that no reasonable Nigeria will opt for any old person to rule Nigeria again.
Politics is a game of figure and a game of carrying people alone. Atiku has been constant in his struggle for the presidency for long, and he has constant number of voters. If you check all the elections, PDP doesn't want to continue staying in opposition, so they voted wisely by giving Atiku a chance.
Others are, however, of the opinion that despite emerging the PDP's flag bearer, Atiku's chances against the ruling All Progressives Congress in the forthcoming polls are slim.
What does Atiku has offer? He has nothing to offer to us. When 2019, I was doing Atiku. 2019, I was in PDP. When we lost the election, Atiku left and ran away. He was not there. We were here doing everything. So I don't see anything. He is always a runner.
With June 6th fixed as the party primary for the All Progressives Congress, it remains to be seen who the favored aspirant would be. Despite that, there has been a continued call for Nigerians to vote their conscience come 2023.
Well, Nigeria should hold their voter card and vote properly. Vote for the wise person and vote for the good person. And ask God to direct them, not collecting money. And then Nigeria will be better for everybody. We are not happy with Nigeria we are today. What we are not supposed to see is what we are seeing today. And it's wrong for the country. Because we have bad leaders.
The former Vice President Atiku Abubakar has stood in 6 primaries, and next year's vote will be his 3rd presidential bid. In his acceptance speech, Abubakar reiterated his campaign promise to end insecurity in the country and revive its fragile economy, among other pledges. Abisola Adebayo, TV360 News.
Well, over the weekend, the People's Democratic Party (PDP) announced former Vice President Atiku Abubakar as the winner of the party's presidential ticket and the flag bearer of the party at the upcoming presidential elections, now leading with a total of 371. Atiku beat other contestants to the race, leaving Rivers State Governor as second runner-up with a total of 237 votes. On the other hand, the ruling All Progressives Congress (APC) has begun screening aspirants ahead of its primary slated to hold between the 6th and 8th of June. Well, to discuss this further, political affairs analyst and legal practitioner Evans Ufeli joins me now on the news. Thank you very much for joining me, Evans. Now let's begin. The emergence of Atiku as the PDP flag bearer has elicited mixed reactions as with any election, but with this result, would you say the PDP now has a better fighting chance at the polls?
Well, if you look at the last election, that was the 2019 election, and how it turned out, one will be tempted to say that Atiku is a good sell for PDP because We saw how he wrestled power with the current incumbent president and how this ended in court. Okay, that was in 2019. But today, the mood of the nation, and given the fact that the power has been in the north, and then PDP, by their primaries, have given the ticket to Atiku again. The mood of the nation does not call for Atiku as a good sell. The way the political calculations and position is right now, Atiku is a hard sell. That is what I think. It's a hard sell because there have been agitation that power should shift to the southeast. Because when you look at it, so many regions have gone before now, except for the southeast and then the northeast. So it's going to be a tough one for the political party to deal with because their lifeline would have been Peter Obi, okay, who is from the southeast and who have a spread, seems to be liked across board, especially by the younger generation. But because of the kind of politicking that was presented during the build-up to the primaries, he left. And then Atiku emerged from the process, beating Nyesom Wike of Rivers State, Atiku of Kwara State, Udom Emmanuel of Akwa Ibom State, and the rest of them. So I don't know the permutations or the kind of strategy that the PDP want to adopt to use Atiku, who is a Northerner, who is a Fulani, to stage a comeback when a Northerner and a Fulani had just ruled the country for 8 years. It is going to be very tough for the PDP. Remember, our politics is not devoid of tribe, ethnicity, and religion. Okay? So all these factors is going to play out in this election. And the PDP, for me, seems to be losing its chance to stage a comeback or to clinch the 2023 election.
Well, all right now, Evans, still talking about the 2023 presidential elections. Now, the Labour Party has today picked Peter Obi as its flag bearer, not without Patu Tomi, like you mentioned, and then two others stepping down for the former governor. Now, how do you see this playing out in the 2023 presidential elections?
One for Labour Party, giving Peter Obi the ticket. Because already Peter Obi is coming with a background of followership, okay? And that is going to make the Labour Party more visible and more popular, okay? But the Labour Party will need to work more. I would have thought that the Labour Party, by the emergence of Atiku, should strategize and get some other political parties to merge with it to make it stronger. Because in so doing, they will gather enough synergy to muster the energy to contend with the ruling party. Remember, the Labour Party have barely, I don't know if they won't have any candidates who is serving in the House of Assembly or National Assembly across the country. They may have few, but it's a political party that have been with us for a while, but the wider and larger participation of politicians in the party have not been, except for maybe Mimiko, who rode on the party to governorship. There have not been any popular candidates that we know that spread across the country. So Peter Obi coming to the party is going to give the party an edge, and then it's going to come with a lot of followership, and then the party will get a boost. But the party will need to collaborate with other small parties, okay, to gather more energy, to muster, and then contest against the ruling party.
Well, all right. Now, Evans Ufeli, political affairs analyst and legal practitioner, thank you for joining us on the news, for your time and contribution. Well, we'll take a break here, but still to come, CBN disbursements to farmers on the Anchor Borrowers Program hit over 1 trillion naira in May 2022. We'll bring you details of this story and more right after this break. Welcome back. Well, here is a reminder of some of our top stories tonight. The former governor of Anambra State, Peter Obi, has emerged as the presidential candidate of the Labour Party. His emergence follows his victory at the Labour Party's convention and presidential primary held in Asaba, Delta State on Monday. A total of 185 delegates had been accredited to vote in the exercise to elect one of 4 aspirants seeking to clinch the party's presidential ticket. However, all 3 co-contenders, Pat Utomi, Olubusola Emmanuel Teller and Fadiri Joseph, stepped down for the former governor. We also told you that the All Progressives Congress (APC) has commenced screening of presidential aspirants seeking to fly the party's flag in the 2023 general elections, while John Oyegun, a former national chairman of the party, is in charge of the screening exercise. The APC national chairman, Senator Abdullahi Adamu, the party's national secretary, Senator Iola Omisore, and other party leaders are already at the venue of the exercise. The screening panel is expected to vet the credentials of 23 presidential hopefuls. Well, in case you missed any of our news bulletin or for more updates, do log on to our website on www.tv360nigeria.com. You can also follow us on our social media platforms on Twitter, Instagram, YouTube and Google Plus at TV360 Nigeria. On Facebook, we're at TV360 Online. And the National Agency for Food and Drug Administration and Control, NAFDAC, says it has approved 2 herbal drugs to undergo clinical trials towards the treatment of COVID-19. Director General of the agency, Mojisola Adeyeye, explained that 3 herbal formulations were approved for clinical trial studies during the COVID-19 pandemic, adding that 2 studies had commenced, including the IHP detox tea, while the 3rd clinical trial study was yet to start. In a statement, the NAFDAC boss said only the agency has the mandate to make any pronouncement on any regulated products that showed satisfactory scientific evidence. We'll take a break now and return to business, international and sports stories. To stay with us. Welcome back. It's time for business news and stock market review with Abisola Adebayo. Abisola, over to you.
Thank you very much, Mary. Welcome to Business News. The Central Bank of Nigeria, CBN, has revealed that it has distributed a total of 1.01 trillion naira to over 4.2 million smallholder farmers cultivating 21 commodities across the country as of May 2022 under the Anchor Borrowers Program. The Apex Bank explained that the credit is in line with its mandate to give the real sector easy access to credit in order to ensure economic stability, having suffered from a recession during the COVID-19 pandemic. It further explained that it released a sum of 57.91 billion naira under the ABP to 185,972 new projects between April and May 2022. Well, we'll take a break now and return with stock market review.
In the last 3 years, we have built a multi-purpose center, which is the envy of all in our constituency. And I can tell you that the people who are living there are already enjoying it.
Guy, do you think what this man just said is true? See, I seriously doubt. I'm sure it's one of those their silly lies.
And wait, do you know there's a way to find out if these things he's saying is true or not? This is the Construct app. It gives people like us a sure way to track implementation of constituency projects. It gives valid and verified information on location of projects, amounts allocated, amount funded, the level of job done, and even the profiles of concerned legislators. You and I can post directly on this app.
Are you serious?
This is the Go-To app if you want to know how our Commonwealth is being expanded by the government.
Wow. Let's even see if what this man said is true. Show me.
The Construct app is developed by Other Paper Nigeria with support from USAID and is available on both Google Play Store and Apple Store.
And it's true.
Of course, I told you.
Welcome back. Nigeria's stock market opened this week on a negative note after declining by 0.58% on Monday. The record dip's negative impact made the market capitalization to lose 168 billion naira at the close of trading. No thanks to stocks like Presco, which led others that topped the laggers league. Presco's share price dipped by 18 naira from day open high, 180 naira to 162 naira, down by 10%. It was followed by University Press PLC, which shed 25 kobo during transactions. On the flip side, as our gainers list for today, Transnationwide Express PLC and MPF Microfinance Bank topped the gainers chart as they recorded a combined 23 kobo, which obviously had no impact on the market. Moving on, 4,586 deals. Investors exchanged 27 billion units of shares valued at 194 billion naira today. Meanwhile, analysts predict that the market may likely close in the negative zone this week, but there is room for profit-taking activities on tickers that have gained appreciably in recent weeks. Investors are therefore advised not to panic and rather take advantage of the dip to increase positions in attractively priced fundamental stocks. On the foreign scene, that's the FTSE, the Dow Jones and the Nikkei. They are all in the positive territory. European stocks were subdued on Monday, losing steam following a rally last week as higher German inflation and warnings on a weaker pound eat sentiment. The Dow Jones rose on Monday afternoon with US stock markets closed for Memorial Day. Japan stocks Nikkei is also in the positive territory, recording a 2.19% increase. That's all on stock market reports. Mary, back to you for the rest of the news.
Well, many thanks for that update, Bisola. And now on the global scene, Russian forces have urged towards the center of the eastern Ukraine on Monday, while President Volodymyr Zelensky prepared to appeal to EU leaders at an emergency summit where a ban on Russian oil imports is on the agenda. Zelensky is expected to press EU officials at the summit to kill Russian exports as it seeks to crank up international pressure on Moscow. Since failing to capture Kyiv in the war's early stages, Russia's army has narrowed its focus, hammering cities with relentless artillery and missile barrages as it seeks to consolidate its control. Well, up next is Entertainment Report.
Veteran actor Kanayo has clocked 60 on Sunday and celebrated the Diamond Jubilee in an all-white affair at the Muzon Center, Onikon, Lagos. Family, friends and associates of the actor turned out in their numbers to facilitate with the birthday boy. The event was hosted by comedian Ayomakun AY. The actor also launched his foundation, the Kanayo Foundation, at the event. Appreciating God for sparing his life to witness the day, the actor also thanked his family and friends for the support they have given him over the years. Comedian Chukwuemeka Emmanuel, popularly known as Sabinus, has slammed a 1 billion naira suit on Friesland Foods Wamco Nigeria PLC for unauthorized use of his trademark Something Huge. In an Instagram post on May 24, Peak Milk had used the phrase "something huge" to advertise their product. Addressing the company through his lawyer, Sabinus noted that the phrase was his registered trademark and therefore demanded 1 billion naira in compensation and damages. Sabinus threatened a lawsuit if the brand failed to comply within 2 weeks from the receipt of the legal notice. And that's all we have on the entertainment segment of News Now.
And now in sports, Brazilian player Neymar has squashed any speculation of a move away from Paris Saint-Germain, despite reports the club are open to selling him this summer. Neymar has been linked with a move away from the club, but his expensive salary might be a stumbling block for clubs interested in a potential deal. The forward has 3 more years remaining on his existing contract and said he is focused on winning more trophies in the French capital next season. Well, that's the size of a news bulletin this evening. Many thanks for staying with us. I am Mary Kanu.